Marlon, I am mentally exhausted after I just did a virtual training today, and my brain is commonly fried at the end of it. And I couldn't type up another email, but I thought, you know what? I like to talk. And so I'm going to answer Marlon's email because I have thoughts, and I figured I could record it and send it to you. I'm going to respond to your email thusly. So your question was stir fry or open season. You'd said, hey, other chapters have done it with success. It served a purpose. So the question was, hey, what are the downsides or the things you might be missing? Just speaking of the downsides first, some of the things that are at least worth considering, not guarantees, but there can be some sort of introduction of the concept that forum is less sticky on the good side of things. So, in other words, not everybody's forum experience is a 10 through every season of life. And so there's some that could say, hey man, just when you go through a forum slump, sometimes those things happen. And, when you stick it out with your forum, we had a member that did that. He said he was on the cusp of leaving. We went on retreat and we addressed some things, and now he's apparently locked and loaded for the next several years. If open season had existed or stir fry would have existed, it would have fallen when he was in that season where he was. Would he have just left and gone to another forum, And someone could say, oh, well, maybe that was in his best interest. Or you could say, oh, no, I'm pretty sure that this member in my forum would say, dude, I'm so glad I stuck it out. He may say, I'm glad that I didn't have the option to leave. Didn't have the option to leave, but you know what I mean, had whatever the barriers to leaving might be. I think the other piece is the logistics on it. Some chapters have pretty clear parameters around, you have to apply to it. You can only apply once every 2 years, and there's all these things. So they treat it as some folks, at least Nashville does not do it, to be clear. So this is all conversations I've had. But for some folks, it's hey, it's open season and here's this thing and you can, participate in it, or now's the time when you can say that you want to switch. And others have it being more of no, it's a privilege to be able to participate in open season. And so for me, it seems it's possible that there's an awkwardness around how it's done. And so are people going to be submitting to leave their forum? And then if they're not accepted, aren't they mentally already checked out on their forum? So those are at least two initial ones that come to mind on top of just introducing a new concept to folks. I cannot empirically say whether or not it's good or it's bad or necessary or any of the other things to it. I very much do understand hey, what the question I would have, Marlon, is what is the symptom or issue you're trying to address? Because for me, the number one thing that I would apply it to is, hey man, we're having a lot of folks that, because there's so much stigma around leaving your forum or switching forums, they're when they decide they're ready to leave their forum, they don't want to deal with the stigma or drama of joining another forum. So they just leave EO altogether. So for us, the stir fry or open season is a play to introduce the concept that it's a-okay. Just because you think it's time to leave your forum doesn't mean that it's time for you to leave EO. For me, that's the best use case I know of where it makes sense to try and introduce this concept of, I think it should be introduced all the time, which is, I still do believe forum is for a season. It is not for life. And there are some where that season may be 30 years for some folks. For other folks, it may be 3 or 4 years. So anyway, that's all my stuff, just off the dome. To be very clear, EO Nashville does not do this, and it's not even that I'm against it. We just haven't found a reason yet for why would we want to implement it, and I very much see a lot of the benefits for chapters that do use it.